fun to do a little video for the people coming to fish in Louisiana with us, and a couple things about the spider cage and just how to see the fish and some good techniques. I always tell them once I'm heading out in the water and I'm talking 1,000 miles an hour and everybody's excited to go fishing, it's nice to see it prior to your trip and what we're looking for and kind of how we're going to see the fish and techniques on how to feed them and how to use this cool thing. This thing helps you. You can sit down all day and kind of have your line stripped out, and it just you don't have to sit there and balance anymore in some tough stuff. So it's really nice, and it's a great line management system by Chittum. First, I want to show you just how to get your fly line out of there. A lot of times we just strip it off the reel into there, you would think, and that's incorrect, because once you're shooting your line out, it's gonna coil on itself. So what we want to do right when we get to the spot, we want to strip it onto the ground or even into the water. We're doing this after a day of fishing in the marsh, and it was as good as it gets. You can see some shrimp boats in the background. But I want to strip it onto the deck, right? And then I want to just get some line out there, and I want to throw all my line out there, and then I want to start from the reel and I want to collect it back into here, right? So I collect it back into there, all kind of like that, anywhere you want, especially if I'm a right-hander here. And so now when it's shooting out of the basket, it's not coming from the bottom, it's coming from the top, okay? So that's the spider cage 101, if you will. And we got some wind to help us in the real life situation. So when I'm standing here and I'm looking for the fish, I'm always telling the client they own 11 to 2 and 20 feet on the boat, because I'm in the back push pulling. I can't really see what's going on. The boat's hooked to my truck right now, so it's not real, but that's good. I'm standing here, and when I'm looking, you can really lean over and look to the fish, but a lot of times everybody comes and they want to make these giant casts, and that's really not the game. The 5 to 10 foot cast is much harder than the 30 to 40 foot cast. Everybody's used to making those big casts. We want to make a short cast, but we want to manipulate the fly, which is a tough thing to do. It sounds easier than it is. So a lot of times I do have the fly in my hand a lot, and I don't have a fly on this because I'm casting it onto the ground, but I don't have much line stripped out, and I got about that much out of the rod tip. I got about 2 feet out of the rod tip, and I'm just gonna sit there, and this is the cast. And Isla, if you'll pan just a little bit towards the front of the boat, okay? So the cast, and looking at my rod there, Isla, my daughter's shooting the video for me, she loves it. But usually this is our cast, and we do these big long casts. Okay, so that will happen sometimes, especially when we can clearly see the fish on a good day with high sun and all that stuff. But a lot of times these redfish are gonna come float up from the bottom, and they're curious, and they're gonna take a look to see what we are. So we're gonna make a cast right to there. So if you got my rod there, Isla?
Yeah.
Okay, so all I'm gonna do is sometimes I'm gonna stand ready just like this, and you can see my whole body, Isla?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand ready just like this sometimes, and the fly is just touching the water surface. And then if you pan out just to there, Isla, a little bit, I'm gonna throw it right there, and then I'm gonna rod tip wiggle it, okay? I'm gonna wiggle the rod tip. There it is again, and I'm just gonna wiggle the rod tip. But what a lot of people try to do is bring the rod tip back with them. You just wanna put it down there and wiggle the rod tip, okay? And Isla pan down on the ground, and that's fine. Wiggle the rod tip. So, the big mistake too is putting way too much line out of your rod tip. So if I have to make a cast, let's pan over to the back of my truck there. If I have to make a cast to the back of my truck, if I have way too much fly out, I'm gonna hit the top of my truck. So just to hit the back of my truck, I want to, and pan at me there, Isla, a little bit, okay? And then I just want to cast the rod, but bring the rod tip back at the same time. So that is the motion, and that's how we're gonna feed them right there. You're gonna feed them 5 feet up the boat. And, you're looking, once you're looking for fish, a lot of times they're so easy to see, and it's such a cool place to see them at. They're big fish in shallow water. But sometimes when it's tough, or when we get to a little bit deeper water, you're just seeing pieces of a tail, and it seems like everybody should know that, but you're looking through the water. A lot of times we catch ourselves and we're looking at the top of the water. You're not seeing it. I'm really always trying to find the bottom of the water. I'm trying to look to the bottom, and that you know, that'll help you pick up shadows and stuff. A lot of times you see just a black, something weird that's black, and I'm always checking them. I'm always, you know, just dangling a fly in front of them. They'll get very close to our boat. Some of the not spookiest fish you ever see in your life. And just a couple quick things on redfish, black drum, and sheep's head. And those are our three main targets and how we're going to feed them. A redfish is a classic feed. He wants it thrown within a foot, 2 foot, so that's very close. A foot or 2 foot. We're used to leading Florida fish, you know, 5 to 8 feet. He wants 2 foot is a long lead. What you don't want is they have so much food around them. You want to put it very close to him and make him make a decision instantly. So I put it 6 inches right in front of his face, and a redfish, it needs to be moving. He's going to jump on it. He's the most aggressive of the three. He'll jump right on it and he'll eat it almost every time. It's got a plop in there. They're used to hearing shrimp plop, so they hear that fly plop and they look around. They'll eat it just coming out of the sky like that. Pretty amazing. Now the two are tough fish to feed is a black drum, which get giant. They get 40 pounds and they'll lay right underneath the boat there. A black drum and a sheep's head both want the fly very similar. You want to cast it past them, you want to twitch it, and then you want to let it lay on the ground. Then they're gonna see it and they're gonna tip up on it, and that's when they want to eat it. They want it eating a dead fly. Very, very tough for people to do. Everybody wants to be moving the fly, manipulating the fly. You just want to tick it, and then you want to let it drop in front of their face. Now, if they don't find it, and if they don't jump on it, you might one little tick, and they'll see it again, and you'll see them just tip up on it like that. They'll be sitting there, and then once they see it, he'll just tip like that, and you'll know he ate it. And then, actually, especially for a sheep's head, just lift your rod tip. A little bit of a gentle trout set is what we're looking for there. And that's going to set him just like that. So black drum and sheep's head both want a dead fly laying on the bottom. A redfish wants it moving. He's going to chase it down and kill it. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, a couple ideas on what to look for in case anybody's asking. You know, shoot me an email with any flies, but you know, fly patterns. Very cool place if you're into tiny flies because they eat a variety of things and they're not shy about eating it. I look forward to fishing with anybody in the marsh this year, or if anybody's watching this and we're fishing next year together. I look forward to it, and what a special place. And so yeah, my daughter told me to do all these videos because she wants to start doing some videos herself, and she wants to help edit them. So now she's gonna flip around, she's gonna say hello to you. Cool, thank you, see you soon.